This is our favorite time of year. It's ice fishing. The lakes are frozen. You can see my breath. The St. Paul Ice Show just got done. It's time to get after it and chase down cold weather on ice fish. This month with The Bite, we bring you to the infamous Red Lake. If you talk about ice fishing anywhere in the ice belt, you know of Red Lake and early ice. It's walleye time. For some reason, this lake freezes up more than anything else, even with its size. And we meet up with Tony Mariotti, Matt Breuer, and the one and only John Crane to chase these finicky early season walleyes. So learn some tips, get ready with us as we take you to The Bite.
All right, folks, it's Tony Mariotti, and I am here with the crew heading out for the first ice episode of Clam's The Bite television series, and we are heading up to Red Lake. We just stopped in Bemidji, and typically The Bite airs on the first Tuesday, and today with the St. Paul Ice Show just behind us, we got word that the ice is prime, the fish are biting, and we're heading out.
Yeah, and we are at my place here. I'm Matt Breuer. We got about 14 inches of fresh snow here, but luckily up on Red, it sounds like only 4 to 5 inches, and most of it blew around. So we got the Bearcats loaded up. We should be able to get them out and get on some fish. So let's get after it.
Let's do it. It should be a great day. Well, we wanted to kind of get away from the crowd, and I wanted an area that was covered with snow. I tried to stay, any advantage we have when you're fishing this shallow water and the sun's kind of peeking out, trying to keep it as dark as possible. So I wanted to pick an area that had good snow cover. There's not a lot of open, free ice, and so we thought, what the heck, let's give her a whirl.
We drove out of Mortstock this morning. We're on the south end of Red, and typically in years past, I've always looked for like broken ice or pile-ups or ridges or things like that, but it's actually a pretty clean freeze this year. So as Tony had mentioned earlier, we're looking for areas that are packed really good with snow. You can see some open ice that doesn't have much snow on it, and we're kind of on the edge of that. So there's not a lot of structure in Red. There are a few places where the structure exists, but you're kind of working what's given to you on top of the ice as opposed to what's below the ice. So trying to work the snow line almost like structure. So we're sitting on a ridge where light penetrates stronger over there and it's darker over here, and we'll just work the edge of this and see what happens. Came out of nowhere, huh?
Came out of nowhere. And just like that, he decided he didn't want to eat anymore.
There's still fish down there.
That fish came out of nowhere. There we go. The Red Lake Walleye. Just a beautiful first Red Lake Walleye of the season, and this is number one. Let's hope for some bigger ones and a lot more numbers. I think this guy will go back. First walleye of the year. Nice. All right, well, we just had our first Red Lake Walleye of the year. We've been out here about 25 minutes. Again, we're in 12 feet of water, so we were just starting to think maybe we're a little deep, and I was jigging maybe 6-8 inches off the bottom, and I got smoked. I mean, there wasn't time to even register on the Vexlar. All of a sudden, there it was, boom. and set the hook, and I actually lost the fish right away, and I just kept my lure down there and kept jigging. I'm using that rattle and blade spoon with just a minnow head, and it seemed like that rattle was enough to keep him there, that bait was enough to entice him, and he hung out. I could see the same fish, and I managed to get a second shot at him, and yeah, that was fun. I'd like to get his big sister here soon, but first walleye of the 21 ice fishing season, and we'll take it.
Well, I'm kind of jealous. I want to catch one now. So, but it's kind of interesting. We had just talked about, you know, we sat here and there's billions of walleyes in this lake, and or we think we're in a decent spot. Nothing really stands out at you as far as structure or anything. So we had just talked about me getting out, jumping around, drilling some holes, and then you were talking about let's make a move, and we're kind of cozy. We got the Mr. Heater going. It's nice and warm, so the prospect of going out into -1 degrees to go hole hopping isn't that great, but got lucky and got one, and that's a sign of life. Maybe we need it, so maybe we just stick it out and give it a shot, and we'll give it another 25 minutes, and if that doesn't work, then maybe we'll go bounce around. So we had been waiting around for a little bit, and I decided to just come out and drill a few holes. It's a little cold, so the prospect of doing it wasn't that exciting, but came out a little bit, checking to figure out where the break line is, where it kind of starts to come up a little shallower, move towards shore, drill 3 holes, and on the first drop, this fatty showed up and absolutely smoked that blade spoon. And beautiful fish, great way to kick off the season for me here on Red. Nice lively fish, a little bigger than I would like. I'll probably keep some fish today if we do well, but with this wind and this cold, I want to get this fish back. You can see it's already frosting up, so. Nice healthy kick. All right, keep going. This hole is only about 50 yards from the house, so I think I'll meander a little bit and start kind of moving toward shore a little more, but I think we are in the right general area. We just might need to fine tune just a hair. Hey!
Another Red Lake walleye.
Oh, nice one.
Oh, beauty.
Oh, that's a perfect.
Look at that fish. Just healthy and fat. And just barely be cooked.
You know, if you were eating fish, that'd be the one.
Oh, for sure. You know, that's the cool thing about this lake, is the possibilities of all-day fish like this.
Yeah. Well, and the year classes, it's incredible. Like, that first fish you caught was probably 13.
Yeah.
And then we had one that was probably pushing 20, and this one's right in that, what, 17 and a half, 18-inch mark?
Just hefty.
Yeah, so fat.
Pretty fish. Let him go. It's nice and warm in the shack, and see if we can't get another one. Tail wag goodbye.
Nice. Now I don't have Vexlar, so I gotta go back outside.
Yeah, you know, there we just watched Matt. He walked out, and I watched him first drop, caught a fish, and he walked back here to warm up and grab a new minnow. And I mean, we were talking about moving. It's now been about a half hour, 40 minutes we've been out here, and all of a sudden Mark showed up, and you know, that's so typical of Red Lake walleyes. It seems that they just go in waves. You might have to sit 15, 20 minutes, half hour, and then boom, 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 you catch a few fish. Those fish move through. And the most unique thing about this, I mean, it's the middle of the day, but is how these fish just smack that bait. You know, we were laughing. It's like they're just roaming the abyss out here, and when they see a little nugget of food, it's game on, and they just smoke it. That fish showed up. I literally went boom, gave it 2 little rattles with that rattle and blade spoon, and fish on. You know, beautiful 17, 18-inch eater. We let her go because it's early in the day, but we'll be taking a couple of those home for the frying pan for sure.
Just eat it already.
There he is. There he is.
Oh,
I saw him.
I'll let him have it too. He's less hungry now.
I think there's perches.
That didn't seem like perch bite at all.
Here he is.
What's your hypothesis, Breuer? Why'd you miss that fish?
I don't know. I did everything I thought was right, but obviously
but it was
not.
oh so wrong. I think it's a perch, if you want my...
It did not hit like perch.
Yes, it did. You don't know. You've never caught a perch out here. It's a lot of guys that aren't familiar with the way that the Red Lake fish move, like Breuer here. would assume that that wasn't a perch. But old Tony spent a lot of time up there refining the methods and learning the secrets of red.
But I got it to bite, and I felt the bite, and it was not a perch bite.
But it was.
There was zero.
See, you don't understand.
It was this.
They don't bite like that here. They don't bite like that here.
Oh. You're right, that was the first ever perch bite I've had out here. Here we
There,
go.
he's moving.
And that's how a dead stick's supposed to work.
Oh, nice fish.
A little eater.
You could actually watch that Vexillart. You saw when that fish engaged and his fins started moving, and it was like, here he comes.
Yeah.
He'd come up and watched it, and all of a sudden, bam.
Well, not a trophy, but another eater.
Absolutely.
13 and a quarter. Again, look at how chunky.
Yeah.
Even though smaller fish are. We've been talking about it. I've been wanting to run a full minnow on a dead stick, or at least holding it relatively still, because you're actively jigging that rattling blade spoon, which is a more active bait. And I've just got the regular blade spoon on and running a full minnow, kind of hoping that you're attracting fish and then they'll come and eat me is my hope. But you've been doing pretty well with the jigging too. But it's nice to have that option.
The old 1-2 punch.
That's right.
Yep.
And you know, if we were spending the whole day up here and really hitting it hard, we'd probably both be jigging and both have a bobber rod or a dead stick in front of us.
For sure.
But we're just trying to be active with one hole apiece. And
one hole, and I'd say the visiting and the camaraderie has been what this is all about.
Right. Another nice eater. And actually, speaking of eaters, I might actually keep that one.
Go for it. It looks like a delicious meal for tonight.
I got kids at home that beg me to bring fish home, and I don't get to fish very often, so I think I'll keep a couple. So a lot of people ask me about how they're hooking minnows, and it varies a lot. If I'm using a bigger minnow, a lot of times I'm going through the dorsal fin. But on these smaller minnows, I actually like to hook them right behind, off to the side of the anal fin here, and then out the top. And what that does is you're not affecting the spine, and you're allowing that minnow to have full freedom. And when a fish is going to hit a minnow, it's always going to hit it head on. So then you're going to grip that fish. So that's a tip that might help you catch more fish.
No idea where that fish came from. He showed up out of nowhere.
That's a good one.
Good, healthy fish.
Nice, Tony.
Just another dandy.
That pinhead has been on fire.
That has switched up to the pinhead minnow, and
Red and gold.
yeah, kind of pink and gold, and just beautiful fish. Red Lake gold, baby. I think this one can go home with Mr. Breuer for a walleye sandwich. Keep this one for supper.
Ooh, nice fish, bud.
We'll take it. I never saw that fish. All of a sudden, he was just on.
No, you never said a word. Just jig, jig, jig. Oops.
Yeah. Crazy.
It's awesome.
I'm gonna need a minnow.
Take them how we can get them. And even if it was a full fish, I think you would still eat. There we go.
Boy, this one did a bit much light. Ooh, there you go. Well, Brew, way to round out the night. We're starting to get dark, and I get to do this again tomorrow with John Crane. So
I'll be thinking about you guys.
yeah, this is fantastic. You know, it's just early ice. Here we come up, and you know, pick a spot. We went out of Morts, and I mean, there's not a lot of structure up here, but there's sure a lot of walleyes.
Yep.
Get him back. Here we are, folks, day 2 of the bite, and we are back on Red Lake. We're at early ice. You know, we spent the day out here yesterday. Matt Breuer and I teamed up. We went out and kind of ran our program. We got into some nice fish. We got into some smaller fish, but at least we had action. Good friend and tackle designer, Clam Pro Tackle, John Crane, is joining me today. He was actually up here yesterday. They struggled a little bit, but it was bitterly cold. The wind was howling, and things weren't real conducive to hopping around. Today we got 14 degrees. A little bit of snow falling. It is a beautiful day, and we're gonna go out. We're gonna hit the same area that Breuer and I hit yesterday, kind of targeting the deeper edge of the mud flats out here, looking for an area covered by snow. We're gonna pop some holes, hop around a little bit more. We're gonna put some awesome fish on top of the ice.
getting lines down. We're gonna give it the old 1-2 Red Lake punch. Gonna set my Ice Buster bobber here. Thinking we're in about 11, 12 feet. We're guessing we're gonna set our bobber about 8 to 12 inches off the bottom. Get that thing all set. Get a rainbow minnow down there. And then once we get our bobber line set, we're gonna start that ribbon leech flutter spoon with the minnow head combo, the other part of the 1-2 punch. See if we can spoon up some walleyes here today. Hook them right behind the top dorsal fin. Lightly hook them. We want them to keep active. Put it right, oh yeah, we got a kicker here. Let's get them down there and do the walleye call. Get that bobber stop set. And that's important too. If you catch one, you want to get right back down into the game. Lots of times there's a school down there. That's what they call it. You know, there's 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 fish down there. You want to capitalize on that. Set that bobber stop so you always have a predictable bottom and you can get back down there into the game. All right. Active little bugger, ain't he?
Fish on! Red Lake walleyes.
Way to go, buddy.
You know, that was the first drop down this hole. I'd been here probably a minute. I just moved. Just a beautiful, beautiful Red Lake fish.
First drop.
First drop in this hole. I just moved from 2 holes over, and this is the reward for our efforts this morning.
Nice.
You know, what a difference a day can make. We got out here yesterday and it was cold. I think it was -1 and it was windy. We just got out here. We've only been fishing literally 5 minutes. I started at 1 hole, wasn't marking anything. I gave it about 5 minutes, moved to the 2nd hole, and first drop, fish showed up. Actually, 2 of them showed up, and bam, got it. That pinhead minnow, gold and pink, seemed to do the trick. And I'm gonna go get another minnow head and see if we can't make that happen again. There we go. He absolutely smoked that ribbon leech spoon. Whew. You know, I'm up here with John Crane, and when the tackle designer tells you, hey, you've been having good luck on that pinhead minnow, maybe you want to try this new ribbon leech spoon. You know, this is a zinc alloy bait. It's got this little flapper for attention, and I've been tipping it with a minnow head, but you know, the leech flutter spoon was super popular. This ribbon leech is actually a little bit thinner cut, so it has way more flash, and it's curved on both ends. I threw the Wonder Bread at him, and Wonder Bread did the trick. You know, I oftentimes joke that if you're looking for financial advice, you'd maybe go to Dave Ramsey. If John Crane tells you to try a lure, I highly recommend trying it out. Awesome.
All right, now we got a mark. Yes, sir. Now we got one. He just choked that ribbon leech. Yes, he hit the Wonder Bread. Love it. Just dropped down that 1/4 ounce ribbon leech Wonder Bread. Love it up here at Red Lake. First ice. Had a minnow head on there, and he came in right away and choked her down. Nice, what, 15-incher or so? Gotta love that. One for the table. I think we'll let her go though. So here we were working the, you know, the perch colored ribbon leech spoon, and Tony Mariotti, my buddy's over there stroking him on glow white Wonder Bread. I'm like, well, I better get with the program. So I switched to 1/4 ounce, actually fairly big size. Got that noisy, flashy flapper on the bottom, oversized red treble hook. That's the thin cut ribbon leech. It's a thin cut version of the popular leech flutter spoon. So this thing flutters even more. Get her down there and we're gonna start whacking them here.
Oh, fish on. Okay, I gotta go. Hey, look at that guy. Wrong species.
What do you got?
Stinky little tullaby.
It's all right. It's a hook set.
Hey, hook sets are free, buddy. Now, is this a tulipy or a whitefish?
That's a tulipy.
Huh. Stinks.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Marking?
Yep, fish.
I will get the camera.
Wrapped on the transducer, you sucker. Nice. You know, I came in to surprise the guys with some lunch, and I thought, while I'm in here, I may as well drop my jig down, and sure enough, Red Lake Gold strikes again. That little Wonder Bread ribbon leech spoon. I mean, right in the corner of the mouth, just perfect. And you know, very shortly I'm gonna get this water boiling, and we're gonna have some soup for lunch, and I'll share with that, or I'll share that with you as soon as we get these back. Actually, I think this one's coming home with me. We're gonna keep a couple for the pan, and we'll do a little cook segment next. You know, we like to say that the way to a fisherman's heart is through his stomach, and a lot of times when it's cold, it's awesome to have something that you can come out and get a hot meal with. And today I brought out the Buddy Flex system and by Mr. Heater, and this thing is fantastic. So it's all combined as one unit, and what we're using is the Buddy Flex cooker. I came out here about probably 10 minutes ago, and I fired this thing up, and I've got half gallon of water in my pot, and I'm gonna bring old surprise the boys and John Crane with some wild rice soup. This shore lunch wild rice soup is fantastic. My kids will eat it, my wife loves it. It's a great quick meal, and it makes for one heck of a meal out on the ice. So we've got our Buddy Heater all set to go. We've got the Flex cooker ready, and now all you have to do is open her up. Once your water's boiling, you just simply add your shore lunch right to your pot, and kind of whisk it in a little bit. All that I'm going to do is stir this in real well, bring it back to a boil, and then I'm going to bring it down and just let it simmer for 10-15 minutes, and we'll let the boys be the judge of the taste. But we're in for some warm and good eats. Super simple, doesn't take up much space. Just came into the shack to kind of set it up and surprise the boys. So definitely check it out, and we'll be back with the end product.
There we go. One way to do it, I guess. Yeah, geez, out here on Red Lake today, the bite is a little bit tough. They're a little finicky, you know. We're having to kind of finesse spoon them here. We're hole hopping quite a bit. I dropped the ribbon leech spoon down, and I had them come up like 4 times up to the bait. We're not jigging real aggressively, just kind of yo-yoing it a little bit and dancing that treble hook. I had a minnow head on there, but you just want to dance that spoon in place sometimes when it's tough like this, and just finesse those spoon bites. The ribbon leech did it again.
All right, well, we've got the lunch going. Took 20 minutes. Just kind of simmering this on the Buddy Flex cooker. And, you know, we discovered Breuer stole our bowls yesterday, but in exchange, it does seem he forgot his jig box, or spoon box. So I think that's a fair trade. Breuer, you can keep the bowls. I'll keep the spoons. Hey, John, wait till you try out this soup.
Come and get it. I'm coming.
Here you go, buddy. We've got silverware.
Nice.
And there you go.
Thank you.
And we're gonna get some lunch in us. Just fantastic soup. And I even managed to pick up a fish while we were in here cooking. Now it's time to head back out, get a little soup in me, and go hop around, get some holes. All right, you want a bowl?
Yes. Sure. Thank you.
This stuff is good.
Yeah.
And it's warm. Have you had many more marks come through or not?
Nothing since that fish.
Really?
There There we go.
Got him, Tony?
Yeah, you want to pull that transducer out for me?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's a big one.
Oh, there you go.
Nice. Rally fish.
The rally fish, boy, he came in and hit that rattle and blade spoon. Look at that.
Love it.
I just switched it up. Things have been getting tough here. And bam. Boy, that puts a little bit of wind right back in the sails,
Yeah.
hey?
I guess so.
Just a dandy fish. Just think. You know, it's getting to be the grind today. That pressure changed and the fish got a little bit tougher, but we stuck it out. You know, we went out of Mort's dock here and we literally just followed their road out. We kind of came out past the houses and we really focused on getting away from people.
Yeah. No, they're a couple hundred yards away. We're out in, what, 12 feet of water. Beautiful day.
It's cold. Let's get this fish back in and
Nice.
we'll go from there.
Oh, it's a good day on red. Always first ice, man. Gotta love it.
Yeah, this
You
is something.
It's exciting. We look forward to it every year. Hunting season's done. Got a couple ice shows under our belt. And here we are at Red Lake tearing it up, man.
You know, and you know, I can't say coming in the middle of the week like this, it does make a difference.
Absolutely.
You know, there's not nearly the traffic, there's not nearly the people bouncing around, and the fish are not pressured, they're not spooked.
No.
When they come through, they chow.
All kinds of fun, man.
Thanks for joining me. I really appreciate
Love
it. This
it.
is great.